welcome back to my channel, Susie Jane Designs. In today's video, we are going to do some fall DIYs, which I promised you would be coming. All of these DIYs were super easy and involve items from Dollar Tree. If you are new to my channel, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below and the notification bell next to it so that you can be notified. And the notification bell next to it so that you can be notified every single time I upload a video. I don't even know what I've said at this point.
Notification bell?
Whatever. It's a Dollar Tree DIY, guys. That's all you really need to know, right? Fall, Dollar Tree, subscribe. Without any further giggles, let's jump into the video.
Okay guys, so the first thing you'll need for this first DIY is 2 of these tin buckets from Dollar Tree. You can really get any one that you want. I just painted the bucket white. You can spray paint the whole thing, handles, everything, totally up to you. Or you can use a completely different color, up to you. Then you'll also need 2 pumpkins of the same size. I use the carvable pumpkins for the bigger ones. Paint them whatever color you like. I chose a navy blue. Then you'll need 2 medium-sized pumpkins. All I could find were these like jack-o'-lantern ones. That's fine. I just took the lights out of it and made sure to paint them. And then you'll also need 2 small pumpkins. I don't have video of me painting those, but 2 smaller pumpkins, you'll paint those and get them ready to go as well. Now, what I did for the handle was I took some of this thick twine that I have from Walmart. It's like a jute rope, but it's thinner than what Dollar Tree has, like for the nautical rope. So all I'm doing is working in small sections, taking the rope and wrapping it around with a small dab of hot glue on the handle. And I just went all the way around the handle for that. And it seems like it takes forever, but honestly, it's not that bad. I would recommend, though, cutting a section and working in small sections of rope rather than trying to use the whole roll. It worked out way better that way. Okay, so once I got it wrapped, I wanted to make sure that I made it look a little bit more cohesive where it joins with the bucket. So I just cut a small strip of the rope and tied it in a knot and glued it onto that edge right there and kind of frayed the edges. Now I'm just taking some Spanish moss from Dollar Tree and I'm getting my pumpkin into kind of the position that I want it to be in, and I'm just gluing some Spanish moss around the top edge of the buckets. I'm sorry if you can hear my daughter singing in the background. Once I get the Spanish moss all the way around the edge, then I glue down my big pumpkin first. Then I glue the medium-sized pumpkin on top and the smaller pumpkin on top of that. If you haven't figured it out, obviously we're making a pumpkin topiary, which I've seen a million of these. I totally get it. This is just another way that you can make a small one. I filled in between each pumpkin with some Spanish moss, and now I'm just trimming it to make the Spanish moss look even and not so super scraggly. Then I took some of this, oh my gosh, I cannot think of the name right now. I see this happen to people all the time. Anyway, I'm turning it into a bow. It's from Dollar Tree. Once you make a bow, just stick it on the top. And this project is done. So for the next project, you're going to need a sign from Dollar Tree. This is one of those, I don't even know, it's not like cardboard. I think it's press board is what it's called. So I'm actually using, I got some new Arteza paint. So I'm using the color Dijon and I'm painting the entire board. This did take 2 coats to cover up all of the text, but it turned out good in the end. But you can use whatever color you want, of course. Then I have these little letters. I got them from Target Dollar Spot, and a wooden pumpkin. So for the pumpkin, I'm actually going to start out by painting it white. And then I just used the paint that was left over on my brush from painting the sign, and I kind of give it some dimension, make it look like, you know, a pumpkin, where the little ridges and everything, where it would be darker. So there's no extra paint really added on here, just like a tiny, tiny bit that was left on my plate. But it's not a ton of paint. I'm just trying to add a little bit of shading to it. Then I have this fabric that I got from Dollar Tree. If you can score fabric from them, really, they have some good ones sometimes. So I'm just cutting out a square. So this is kind of the layout of what I was going for. So I have my little letters from the Target Dollar Spot, my pumpkin, and my thankful, like it's one of those metal signs from Dollar Tree. I did end up brushing over my thankful sign with some black paint because it seemed like it wasn't standing out enough against the Dijon color. I also took my pumpkin and just hand wrote the word "for" across it, and now I'm kind of getting everything into position. I have these wood leaf stickers from Target Dollar Spot as well, but they do have some usually at Dollar Tree that you can use in place of these. This is just what I had in my stash. So I'm getting everything glued down and just adding the leaves for extra details. And that is pretty much it for this sign. Now moving on to the next sign, I'm going to use one of these long signs from Dollar Tree. If you don't have one of the fall ones like this, you can use one of the Halloween Beware signs if you need to. So I'm just kind of taking it apart. Then I'm using the Dollar Tree wood grain contact paper, and I'm just going to cover the whole sign in the contact paper. Mainly I did this because I don't have a lot of time, people. So this day I was like, I can't paint this sign, but I really actually like how it turned out using the wood grain. It gave it a really warm tone, which I know everyone's into, like either Halloween or getting ready for Christmas right now. I don't want to skip over Thanksgiving. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, my family is totally Halloween right now. But you know, Thanksgiving is coming up too, so I'm trying to go back and forth between both crafts. So get your contact paper cut out to the right size, and then you're just going to stick it to the front of your sign. I did make mine slightly bigger than my sign so that I could wrap it around the edges so that the edges would also have that same coloring. I'm not worried about the back being covered. I just wanted a little bit, a little extra edge so that I could cover up the sides and the top and bottom of the sign to make it cohesive. And then when you fold it over, you will have to kind of clip those edges a little bit, and so that you can fold the sides over and it will adhere well. I'm lazy and I just stuck my cut off pieces to the back of the sign. No one's going to see the back. It's fine. So that part is completely done. So now I'm just taking some of the Jenga blocks or tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree, and I'm positioning out like how I want my letters to look. So the F, I didn't like how the two side pieces were the same length, if that makes sense. So I did go ahead and slide the middle one in between the two side blocks. Hopefully that makes sense. You can see what I'm doing, right? And then originally I thought I was going to make an A out of the blocks, but I changed my mind on that, and you'll see where I go with that in a minute. So I did the F and the two L's out of Jenga blocks. Okay, and then I did use two Jenga blocks in the center for the A because I did want my leaf to stand out. Now this leaf came from a pack from Target Dollar Spot last year. I believe they do have something similar usually at the Dollar Tree as far as just like a plain wood leaf. So now I'm taking some scrapbook paper that I got from Target Dollar Spot. You can use whatever you want. You can paint it. It's totally up to you. Right now my daughter's helping me decide which one I should use to cover the leaf. So ultimately we went with the kind of fall colored florals instead of doing pumpkins. So I'm just going to take my leaf and trace it out on the back of this paper, and then I will cut the paper to size. Okay, so now I'm taking some of this green burlap ribbon from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to be using it to adhere to the front of my Jenga blocks. Now, my Jenga blocks I just attach together with hot glue. I'm not trying to be super crazy about any of this. So I also use hot glue to glue the fabric. So I cut a piece of fabric. It ended up being like literally the exact width of these letters. So I just glued it to the front of it, and then I go back with my scissors and I cut out the shape of my letters from the burlap fabric. So, or burlap ribbon, I'm sorry. So basically it ends up looking like, you know, it's a burlap covered letter. You can get letters that are already made like this at Walmart, but it's obviously not green burlap. It's just the regular brown burlap. So it's entirely up to you. You can always get one of those and paint the burlap whatever your heart desires. This is just what I had on hand. So as far as the little top piece that we tore off in the beginning that said welcome on it, I am taking some paint that I had on hand that's sort of like a tealish navy blue. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's more on the teal side of a darker blue, if that makes any sense. So I'm painting the entire piece with that color. And as far as the scrapbook paper on the leaf, I just hot glued the scrapbook paper to the front of that leaf. So it is ready to go. This was a quick craft, guys. So then I start hot gluing my letters onto my board. I started at the bottom and worked my way up because I do want to leave some space at the top of the sign to stick that welcome piece back on. I glued the 2 Jenga blocks onto the back of the leaf and just glued the Jenga blocks down, so this gives it the leaf that kind of 3D image and makes it look a little bit better with the 3D letters that we've got going on here. So once I get all of my letters glued down, then I'm going to go ahead and glue that little blue piece back to the top of the sign. To be honest, I could still see some of the adhesive from where the sign, this part of the sign was originally glued on, so it was easy to find it. Then I used one of these glittery leaves from Dollar Tree, and I just hot glued that to the top of my scrapbook paper. The reason I did this is because I needed some extra, okay? It just didn't feel right without it. I also took one of the metal welcome signs from Dollar Tree and glued that down. They have these every fall. So hopefully you guys have some in your stash, because I believe now they have out the Halloween and Christmas ones. Okay, so I took some raffia, that's what it's called, and I wrapped it around the top. For this particular part, I just wrapped it kind of, you know, cattywampus, whatever you want to call it, and then I hot glued it to the back and cut off any of the excess. Now I'm taking some Dollar Tree ribbon, so the same green burlap ribbon, they also have like a burnt orange color, and then I had this white burlap in my stash that I had gotten from the Target Dollar Spot last year. I did use that, but you can use like the regular burlap ribbon from Dollar Tree instead. I also took some raffia and put that down in the middle, so I'm just stacking my ribbons. I actually learned how to make this messy ribbon from watching another YouTuber, and I'll make sure to link her information down below. She is absolutely adorable. She says cutie patootie like 27 times in her videos, and I adore her. Anyway, so I'm taking this ribbon. I'm just using some raffia that's left over and securing in the middle of my ribbons here. with the raffia attached to it. I'm really struggling with this bow apparently, guys. Holy crap, what is going on right now? Okay. Oh, and then I also use some of this, I believe it's called pit berries. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's like this wired berry thing. They have them out usually for fall, but they also just released a Christmas one. So there's some really pretty Christmas ones out right now too. So that comes from Dollar Tree as well. So I'm just getting my ribbon pieces together. I'm just pinching the center kind of like an accordion fold, so that they all lay flat. And I just attach the berries, use the berries to attach all of that together and glued it to the top corner of my sign. And now we can look at the final product.
That's it for today's video, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Until next time, I'll be seeing you. I'm pretty excited about these. They were all really easy.
Come here, Juju. Dang.
Okay, everyone, zip it. All of these DIY. All of these DIYs were super easy. Quiet. I only have so much room, guys. Okay. Please make sure to give it.
It's not your day, Mom.
This video a big thumbs up, especially if you like my 70s comfy couch / carpet sweater I've got going on here. It's really soft. I wish you guys could feel it. It's amazing. Who cares what it looks like, right? Anyway, that's it, guys. That was random.
Yeah.
It just looks so very full and... Okay, I'll get you a towel. Oh my God, why are you naked?
What?
Okay, I'll bring you a towel. Go back outside.